All right, so you're Austin. You're Diamond Torb / May main. Probably play both of them half and half.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and you mentioned that you were was a top 500 Fortnite player. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not really familiar with Fortnite competitive. I assume that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Aiming will get you very far in Overwatch.
Yeah, it's definitely different though, so I gotta keep getting used to it, keep improving.
Absolutely. We'll go ahead and start here. We'll see where your initial placement is on the turret. This one does have sightlines of pretty much their whole team, and they can hide behind cover here and just shoot it down immediately. So this turret isn't going to serve you very well. I mean, I've tried a couple of spots here on Midtown for turret spots, but usually anything over here doesn't really do much damage. I almost like it up here. It opens up the crossfire to where they have to shoot at something that's completely out of the way.
This Widow probably could have killed me too if he was good. He had the peek on me.
That's very true. Honestly, getting these few pot shots off, probably not gonna do you anything, because let's say best case scenario, you get a headshot, maybe 2 headshots. If you get it on the same person by luck, maybe you get a pick. But you're still out here in the open, and you're most likely just you're opening yourself up for a death here. The whole idea of playing your life, making sure you don't die, is very, very important. You don't die here, so that's fine. We'll just watch what goes on here. Okay, one thing I'm noticing right away is your positioning here. You want to make sure that the enemy team has a very difficult time hitting you. Okay. Playing over on this side isn't terrible because you have an Ana that's
what I usually do.
That's healing you. Playing up here is kind of dangerous because the closer you are to Junkrat, the easier it is for him to kill you. And with Torb, you do have advantage with no fall off damage. You can fling from basically any distance. So you can either play like right here by the telephone. You have sightlines on your healer, and you can just wiggle peek right here and throw Cheetos. You can play behind the fire truck too. You won't have direct healing, but you can still jiggle peek, and it'll still be very hard for them to hit you. I mean, the best that they can do is Kiriko kunais or a Widow headshot. Making sure
healer sight.
Yeah, healer sight, you want to play with your team. Also, opening this crossfire is good. I saw that you put your turret down kind of as a panic here. If you have it up, you could always, I love this spot too. You could look up and throw it real quick and continue on firing. But if you do decide to play over here, as mentioned before, you want to play the cover. So as they're pushing toward you, you're going back through up the stairs and making it very difficult, making sure that only 1 or 2 people can see you at a time.
Yeah, I like that.
Because if you're out here in the open like this hog is, he's trying to get a hook, but he has line of sight of the whole enemy team, and so they're all going to be shooting.
Okay, yeah, I understand that.
At him. So with you said you wanted to improve your movement, and you noticed that was something very important. I agree. Using cover, jiggle peeking is part of the movement. Like, just being able to do your spamming and peeking as little as possible. Like, imagine being the bot and trying to hit me while I'm trying to do this. Like, it's almost impossible. Like a Hanzo trying to peek you. It'll make it very difficult. Unless he has his sonic arrow, which is something, you know, that's another thing. Let's say you're in a close position with a mcree, right? Jumping generally isn't that great. Because you can easily track people who are jumping because it's very linear, right?
Yeah.
You can't air straight very well, so generally if there's like a precision-based hero like Cassidy, Ashe, Widow, they're going to be looking for your head, so you want to make it difficult for them to hit your head. And by doing that, you want to crouch spam and go left and right, usually fairly quickly.
Usually I'm just going left, right.
Right. And most of the time that's good. Going left, right is pretty good. However, if it's a tracer, someone who has kind of a high spread, tracer, reaper, someone who has a high spread like that, if you're crouch spamming against her, it's actually making it easier for her to hit headshots. So that's someone you don't want to do it against, typically. I mean, it's not the worst thing if you do, but it won't be helping you
That makes sense, yeah.
I mean, jumping isn't the worst thing. It's like, you can do it to spice up your movement just a little bit, but I wouldn't do it all the time. You'll see a lot of high level players do that just to make it as difficult as possible to hit your character. Let's see what the decision making here is. So here you're on high ground, which is a very good position. You put a turret down, which is good. I don't mind this turret. It is exposed, but it's also kind of hard to deal with since it's kind of headshot level. Not terrible. You are trying to poke out the Junkrat, and your tank is playing up here. So you can provide covering fire, and when he gets in trouble, he can go back to here and heal up. Junkrat is kind of in a weird spot, but he also can jump back to high ground. So you decide to jump down to help your tank. The only issue is you don't really have a position to push forward into this, because this Ashe, you notice quickly that this Ashe has sightlines on all of you and has a good position now.
As soon as I saw that, backed up.
Yeah.
Too late.
So that's going to make it difficult for you guys. And then you also have to push into a Zarya, which is very difficult with 2 supports just pumping heals into her. So probably the better move is just to stay up here, doing as much covering as you can. But this Zarya, she has her stuff up. They just use Suzu. She's getting double pocketed, and you're not going to get a lot of value over here. And they're going to win the fight here. That was a good position. I like that position because you're covering yourself from the people who are coming up the ramp, and you can only be shot by these guys who aren't gonna fire at you. So this is free damage here that you can get off. So you could almost stay here, put more damage out. Going after Kiriko
I just
here.
opened myself up here.
Yeah. Here you notice the Kiriko is out of position. She's trying to cover the Zarya. They're double pocketing her. So this is a very good opportunity to just go and rush these supports. Since it's kind of a weird situation going on with your Hog going after the Junkrat, this is very valid to catch out this Kiriko since she already used teleport, I believe.
Yeah, I don't really do that with my E. I usually just use it and then just like spray into their tanks like wall or whatever, and then.
Oof, that.
Yeah, that was really bad.
Yeah, it happens. So your team decides to play back here. Interesting. I don't like it, but you're playing with them. That's good.
Yeah, whatever they were doing, I was just kind of with.
Let me slow it down here. So you got that mcree. I wouldn't even peek that bastion because there's already a tank exposed and your Hog needs help.
Yeah, I should just spray this thing. And bastions are kind of hard to kill.
Yeah, especially if they're pocketed. They do have armor just like Torb.
Yeah.
So they do get.
They're pretty healthy.
Yeah. Healthy and take reduced damage.
On the car there. But.
Now keeping attention to you ults, you're coming up on yours. So what you want to do is stay back, make sure you don't die, get your ult charge up, and then use it immediately when you get it, which is what you do. But if you were farther back, their bastion would have had a lot harder time to deal with you.
I could be farther back when when I have my ult almost, because I'm just like I spam it immediately because I'm like right in front of everyone.
Right. So he comes in here, he gets your Hog because he's out of position, and you are picking this fire truck, which isn't the most terrible thing. You are peeking from cover, so you can just wiggle peek it, or you could play all the way back here since you're almost at ult. Either way would be fine. but you just want to make sure you have your ult and you can use your full ult since it's overtime and time is limited. Okay, pressing aggressive is totally fine. With the Orysas in particular, I like to poke them down until they use their golden, because a good Orisa will just wait until they run out of armor, then they'll pop their golden, get healed back up with their armor. Yeah. So what I do is poke them down, wait till they pop their golden, and then call out to my team, Orisa's golden's down, and then we all rush them together. And that is the secret to beating Orisa. Right now you're pushed up, she pops golden, and there's not really much to do with her.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to kill her from there.
So Orisa pops golden. It's good. Looking at the other people, that's a good decision. And now you're thinking in your head, all right, the golden's down for now, but your tank is dead. So what you need to do is, because your tank is dead, you cannot take space very well, especially with their tank being up. So what you need to do is, 1, build up ult charge, or 2, try to get a pick. But you have to play extra safe, because this Orisa right now, if she wanted, with the Sojourn and double pocket, she could just fan in when her golden is up and get a pick on this Lucio or you very easily from this position. Okay. You notice that your tank isn't standing his ground, keeping the right ground that he needs to. So what you need to think about is, what can I do differently to help him out or help out my team so that they don't get all this free ground? And how I would do it personally is by opening up off angle, shooting the Hanzo or whoever's here. If they were still back at this corner,
so you're just creating an off angle.
Right, exactly.
That makes sense.
So you could peek this window, try to get a pick or two. You could put down your turret and wait till your turret gets up fully and then start shooting. That way you start shooting at the same time as your turret. But then your tank doesn't take as much damage from the Junkrat, doesn't take as much damage from Hanzo, because they're trying to deal with you on this off angle, even if you don't kill anyone, right? Even if you don't damage them. I can always
drop back.
Right, you can always drop back. You have this Mega here. You have healers ready to heal you. They have this window access.
Yeah.
You make the decision to stay back. It's not a terrible decision. Like, it's the right thing to do. But nothing's really changing. So you guys are just going to keep getting pushed back here.
Yeah, I was kind of confused what to do, to be honest.
You can still do off angles like this. This is great. Opens up their field of view. You made the Kiriko look over here. You're making the Junkrat fire his explosive grenades over here instead of guaranteeing the kill on the enemy team. Like, that's great.
Yeah.
And they survived because of it. This Sig is really pushed up. Speaking you guys at wide angles, you can play up here with your Sig and start to poke out this Sig, the enemy Sig. There's 2 Sigs in the game. It's the same thing as the Orisa, right? You hit the Orisa until you bait out the gold. With Sig, you keep hitting him until you bait out this warp or this suck. And then you ult, right? Or then you start really hammering into him. But in reality, Sig is hard to deal with. A good Sig is hard to deal with. They have a lot of tools to keep themselves alive. But good luck, Austin.
Yeah, thank you.
As far as YouTube goes, thanks for watching. If you liked something, please give me a like on the video. If you thought it was helpful, please leave a comment. If you have any constructive feedback as well, please leave that in the comment section so we can improve this and help the community improve. And with that, catch you guys on the next one.